Canto 8, Brahma and the Kinetics of the Departing Soul. Arjuna asked, "What is this perception that is known as Brahma? What can be truly termed as the self's karma? What phenomenon dominates the material coexistence? O Krishna, who was the first God that came into existence? What was the first sacrifice in the physical? O Krishna, how was it in the embodied being practical? At the time of death, where does the soul further go? Your existence truth, how can one really know?" Shree Krishna answered, "The formless infinite is Brahma. It is thus perceived, and the immortal self's existence in nature is conceived. That sacrifice made at the moment of formation is the self's karma, performed for every being's creation. Perishable is the nature of material coexistence. The first God is the omniscient, transcendental existence. The first sacrifice is my dwelling in all physical beings' auspices, and I am also the receiving Lord of all their sacrifices. Whichever being, while leaving the body, remembers me at the time of death, if he can thus focused be, of traversing the unknown realms, he shall have no fear, and to the Supreme, my consciousness will take him near. O Arjuna, when the physical body one leaves, at the time of departure, whatever one believes, that idea which is strong in his final contemplation, he takes that form and object of his imagination. In all your battles and actions, let your insight be fixed upon me. Let your mind and intellect be affixed. At all times, when you remember me constantly, O Arjuna, you shall then come to me certainly. O Arjuna, by regulated efforts of consecration, with the mind devoted in concentration, when one practices yoga, seeking the union divine, he merges into the supreme consciousness of mine. The Self, the Supreme Seer, the ancient and most subtle one, the inconceivable being whose golden radiance surpasses the sun, the formless atomic form that holds everything material, beyond darkness, is the divine refulgent and ethereal. He who at the time of departure engages in my deliberation, his soul is powered with the force of his firm devotion. At the mystic seat between the brows, by focusing his concentration, he can verily attain my divine and supreme realization. What the knowers of the Vedas preach, of the imperishable, infinite self that one must reach, the gnosis sought through ascesis by the sages and the celibate, the same knowledge to you I shall now elucidate. With all the sensory doors of the beings closed, the mind into the heart shut and firmly enclosed, focusing the life force of the body and raising it up to the head, meditate upon attaining the union with the Supreme Godhead. By chanting Om, the singular syllable, the vibration of the primordial truth, imperishable, remembering the Overlord, when the body he leaves behind, the highest status of the Supreme he does find. He who practices yoga with an undeviated mind, striving to merge his consciousness with me, him you will find, in whose memory my remembrance never does cease. O Arjuna, he can attain the union in me with ease. These liberated souls after having come to my door, descend not into the mortal birth once more, and return not to the mortal world, transient and full of pain. The highest state of perfection they verily gain. Even the beings of Brahma's most perfect planet and all other worlds are to rebirth subject, but the souls that seek refuge in me alone find release, and their cycles of endless births and deaths then cease. He who has the eternal Brahma's insight knows the duration of his cosmic day and night. Each single day and night of Brahma's lifespan equals 4,320,000,000 years of man. On the day of the Supreme Creator, unmanifest, all creations are verily born to manifest, and for all the created beings, destruction comes when the night of the Brahma Supreme becomes. At the dawn of his day, take birth innumerable lives. All then disappear and die when his night finally arrives. And at the next dawn, once more living entities thrive, and the loop never ends every time the night and day arrive. But there still exists in that Supreme a divinity, an immutable and supracosmic, ethereal entity, whose existence can never perish, even when all living things vanish. He is the immutable, unmanifest, it is exclaimed. Knowing him is the highest goal that can be gained. Those who attain him return not to the material realm, for they have reached his abode supreme. O Arjuna, the gnosis of the ultimate Supreme One, by the purest, unwavering devotion, must be won. He dwells in all living beings on the earth's face and pervades all matter that exists in space. O Arjuna, to you I shall now declare, at life's final moment, how the awakened beings fare, under what conditions the yogis at the time of death they do and do not attain rebirth. In the 6 months, when the solstice northern starts, by day of fire or light, in the phase of the waxing moon who departs, that yogi, the knower of Brahma, aided by the earth's rotation, reaches the abode of Brahma, thus attaining salvation. And the 6 months, when the solstice southern starts, by night of smoke or mist, in the waning moon's phase who parts, in lunar light world, the yogi enjoys and his time spends, exhausting his energies. Back to earth he then descends. These are the light and dark pathways, respectively, the gods and forefathers' stairways. The souls ascending by the former earthwards do not turn, while those who ascend the later back to earth they return. The yogi, who is of both paths aware, is never misled and always takes care, and makes no error as he dwells in my communion. Therefore, O Arjuna, engage in this science of union. The deeds of merit that the Vedas have recommended, all the sacrifices, austerities, offerings and gifts charitable, these duties the yogi has verily transcended by attaining the knowledge of the Supreme Immutable. Thus ended the 8th canto of the Bhagavad Gita, where Shree Krishna described to Arjuna the post-death journey of the soul and the pathways that lead to realization of Brahma.